Hello, dear friends. We are living in a period of great darkness, but light and goodness will return. Opinion piece: planetary restoration, human integration, restoration of purity, rehabilitation of the world. Unique and wonderful time. Swedish model takes a nosedive. Fake titanium found in airplanes. Achilles heel, Achilles heel of the monetary system. The coldest city in the world is Yakutsk. Let's start. To rehabilitate is to enable again or restore someone or something to its former state. Planetary rehabilitation refers to an approach that addresses the recovery and restoration of the health of the planet, considering environmental degradation and loss of biodiversity. This focuses on environmental aid and recovery in areas affected by armed conflicts and on the rational management of water resources. It also focuses on ecosystem recovery, including the rehabilitation of degraded lands and waters. There are times when the power of many as one is required for us to create meaningful change during this period of planetary rehabilitation. We are not going through one of those times, especially this year, in which we are immersed in a constant readjustment and personal and planetary rehabilitation of our staff, says Natalia Alba. Today's energy is intended to help us not only on an individual level, but also in the planetary recovery that is occurring in many of the Earth's networks and locations. Many of you are experiencing both personal integration and soul mission enhancement, moving into larger states to support planetary reconnection for as within, so without. So as inside, there is outside. There are many of you with different roles helping to recover our planetary essence. Each of you has a unique blueprint, light seed, and soul coordinates to assist in your assigned location. Each of you with a unique coding that generates healing, cleansing, stabilization, anchoring, or transmutation where you are meant to serve, because it is time for you to anchor the knowledge and healing blessings that you came to plant on this earth. This time we are living is unique, wonderful, and blessed, because for the first time we open ourselves to who we really are, as well as to our planet. We can all be connected and receive guidance from our soul. We just have to be willing to eliminate the delusions and the pain and to do whatever inner work is necessary, because ascension is about daily dedication to achieving that inner state of being. Economy. The price of cocoa exceeds $10,000 per ton. The system is breaking down, and warning signs are emerging for banks, small businesses, and retailers. Demand for silver in the solar sector could reduce the supply of silver in the future. BRICS scientists discuss joint ocean and polar research. China, India, Russia, and Turkey shake up the dollar empire and switch to gold as a reserve asset little by little. Some very powerful central banks accumulate fewer and fewer dollars in favor of other assets such as gold or the Chinese yuan. Achilles heel of the monetary system. The fiduciary money system could collapse, but it is likely to persist longer than expected. This prolonged existence can come at a cost: a state invasion of citizens' freedom. Conflicts. Prolonging the war in Ukraine has only disadvantages. NATO tells Ukraine that it must win the war to be a member of the alliance. Putin says he will order a ceasefire in Ukraine, withdraws if Ukraine withdraws its troops from the east and south of the country and renounces NATO. Putin offers peace if Russia preserves its territorial conquest and Ukraine doesn't join NATO. Some Ukrainian lawmakers begin to discuss Putin's peace proposal. The G7 agrees to lend Ukraine 46 billion euros with frozen Russian assets. Putin calls the freezing of Russian assets theft and says it will not go unpunished. Russia will export coal to India through Iran. The Russian and Egyptian navies will practice joint maneuvers in the Mediterranean. The Houthis claim attacks on 3 ships and the US confirms damage to a Ukrainian cargo ship. The diversion of the Red Sea causes congestion in Singapore, the busiest port in the world. Millions of Muslims officially begin the pilgrimage to Mecca. Europe. Euro sentiment reaches its most bearish level in 50 months. European manufacturers fall by 6% in the stock market due to uncertainty over the Chinese tariff response. The German crisis condemns its GDP to remain stagnant in 2024. France will have to raise its taxes to try to reduce a 5% deficit. French development banks withdraw bond sales as Macron causes EU market collapse. Le Pen promises to deport foreigners who promote totalitarian ideologies in France. Sweden announced the rejection of Russian gas and greatly increased imports. Plummet of the Swedish model. Sweden already has the second highest youth unemployment rate in all of Europe. The country suffers the highest rate of homicides with weapons in the entire European Union. Inequality, violence, and crime do not stop increasing year after year. Spain. Public debt rises to 109% of GDP, a record amount. The IBEX 35 falls 3.62% and loses 11,000 points in its worst week since March 2023. The Congress of Deputies unanimously approves the suspension of mortgage evictions until 2028. Brussels accuses Algeria of failing to comply with the agreement with trade obstacles to Spain and other countries. USA. Governor DeSantis declares emergency as South Florida floods. Hundreds of illegal immigrants now live at Boston's Logan Airport. Hybrid language. A new dialect is being developed, Spanglish that combines Spanish and English, and is the fastest growing hybrid language in the world. Donald Trump celebrates his 78th birthday among thousands of supporters in Florida. Some in Silicon Valley are leaning toward Trump. Alex Jones was ordered to liquidate his personal assets, but InfoWars lives to fight another day. Americas. Chinese electric vehicles are arriving in Mexico, and that worries the US. AMLO says that the reform of the judiciary seeks to remove privileges from criminals. Argentina is approaching China again. What changed for Milei to tend to Xi Jinping? The Inter-American Court of Human Rights blames Argentina for the attack of AMIA for not having investigated the attack with the required diligence. Given the stoppage of the Vaca Muerta field, Bolivia can continue selling gas to Argentina. Science. Created a synthetic amber to store DNA without freezing it. Fake titanium found in some Boeing and Airbus planes. Voyager 1 is fully operational again in interstellar space. Leap Science named Yakutsk in Siberia as the coldest city in the world at 60 degrees Celsius below zero. Our solar system may have collided with a dense interstellar cloud about 2 million years ago, while passing through the Milky Way, which may have altered both climate, weather, and evolution on Earth, Boston University reported. A once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon will be visible from Earth in the coming months. Scientists are preparing to observe and investigate an astronomical phenomenon that will soon illuminate the night sky for a week. This is the massive explosion of the binary star system known as T Coronae Borealis, which is located 3,000 light-years from Earth in the Corona Boreal constellation. The system is made up of two stars, a white dwarf and a red giant that orbit each other. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.